Make you express your I go express my thoughts. I go express my thoughts. To make you express your thoughts. I go express my thoughts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wyattsdot production edition of Thoughts Express. As always, I am your host, Mimi, and we are joined here today with some serious men. We're going to have them introduce themselves. We're going to wrap back around and get started.
Hey, my name is Kofi K.
Hello, my name is Odogo Aziza.
It's your boy, Real Blacko.
Does anybody want to add their Instagram handles?
IG, Kofi_K1.
On Insta, it's Odogo_Aziza.
On Insta, it's still Real Blacko.
And you can find me on Insta at Bonnie with 3 eyes__X. So today we're talking about digital age, the digital age and parenting. We live in a very tech savvy world, and it's getting very hard for almost everybody to maintain their screen time. So today we're going to talk about how that affects the kids, the children of the house, and some healthy boundaries that we can set to move forward. Also in the chat room today, we have Nana, who's going to be joining us. At any point today, if you want to join us, all you have to do is call the number on the screen or scan the QR code, and you'll be able to join us here. Also, if you ever want to join us on the couch, all you have to do is follow us on our social media platforms and inbox us, and we'll get you right here with us.
Thank you for joining, Nana.
Yeah, Nana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. My name is Nana Checha. I'm a TV host, author, speaker. I'm a mother of 4, and I live in London.
Well, welcome to the pod today. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna talk about how the digital age is affecting children.
Do you guys have any kids?
Do you?
I don't.
I stop lying.
Do you have any kids, Marco?
I got 2 kids.
Are you living with them?
No, not right now.
Okay.
They here or
No, they're not here. They're back in Africa.
oh? So you ship them good?
Yeah.
Right.
You're a father?
Yes, sir.
Um,
Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. Well, it's being pretty evident. I mean, I think she's like 7 now, 7-year-old cousin, and she's very addicted to her cellular device. I mean, it's getting to the point where she calls me more than I call other people. She has a YouTube channel. She posts on YouTube. She has a TikTok channel as well. So it becomes a point where it's like, who's regulating these screen times? How much screen time is she getting? And really, what are the stats? Like, what are the long-term, I don't want to say benefits, because at this point, I don't think it's really benefiting anybody, but the effects that it's having on the children of this day.
So I'm going to ask, what kind of device does she have?
She has an iPad. And I
iPad.
think she has a phone as well, but she mainly uses the iPad.
I think those are supposed to have limitations when you give in such device to 7 years below, 10 years below. It should have some limitations. So how come she has all that YouTube channel for herself and all that?
I mean, is there like some parental control?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think YouTube has, I don't know about other social media platforms. Like, she also has a TikTok as well that she can like post
And she
on.
set it up her own self.
Yeah.
Okay, then she's smart. Then I'll say that. I think she probably got it.
But also, I feel like obviously, if they're growing up with, I don't know if you guys grew up with technology. I mean, I think we're all around the same age, so we all pretty much like grew up when phones were on the rise. But if you spend enough time with a phone, like, even if you're not the smartest person, eventually you're gonna figure it out. Especially if you're going to school and the other kids are figuring it out as well. So maybe she didn't set up the account. Maybe her friend set up the account. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's necessarily that she's just smart and she figured it out. It could have been influence from, all the people or the amount of time that she just spent on the device to figure that out. But like I was saying, I think YouTube has a restriction. But also, if you're a parent and your kid is like, mom, of course, what the parents are doing now is just giving them more time.
Yeah.
On the screen time.
It's because they're tired of them crying. They are tired of being responsible. Some parents, because instead of them giving these kids time, they just give them the iPad and be like, hey, go play a game, go do this. I'm cooking. Instead of them introducing them to the storybooks and others, they just make everything right away on the tablet and give it to them.
Yeah.
And these kids are like, they are very smart to the point that if you give them the chance, they have way to maneuver like around it and make things come out of it, you know.
Yeah.
So technology is really good. It has helped a lot, but sometimes I think we should consider when it comes to age and the introduction of technology. So 7 years, I think iPad with full access is too big, is like a huge thing for her.
Yeah.
So I got something. It's not all iPads that like can make you download certain apps.
Yeah, that's why I said.
So when their iPads are not like the ones you got, so they got like restriction and everything on that iPad.
Okay, give us just a second. We're gonna watch a quick video and then we can get right back to the conversation.
This thing is affecting your child's brain.
The blood of Jesus.
Jesus. Yes, this particular tablet that your child has been looking at from morning till night. And WHO sir should tell you that if your child is below 1 year, they have no business with tablet or phone at all. No screen time.
Bombastic side eye.
If your child is between 2 to 4 years, they should not spend more than 1 hour with tablet or phone. Why? Simply because this particular time of their lives is when their brain is still developing a lot of things that you are going to use as an adult. Fine motor skills, how to write, how to use, all these small things, even how to develop language. Cognitive development is when they interact with other people. That's when they can read faces. For some people, they can stay like that for hours. It's also encouraging sedentary behavior. And all these things can affect them as adults.
Oh my God.
Because I know that some of you are using this tablet as cheat code. Yes, especially the Instagram mommies and daddies.
Will you keep quiet?
Any smart, what your child, put tablet in front of them. So please, it's not me that said it, it's WHO that said it. If you have fights, go and fight WHO, not me. Let your child interact with other human beings and not basically just looking like that. You might think they are learning, but they are not. Let them learn with their hands and their bodies. So Instagram daddy and mommy Emeka and Nkechi, at a certain age, this is not good for your child. And I know that you know the mother I'm talking to or the father I'm talking to.
Please.
You know what to do with this video. This thing is affecting your child's brain.
The blood of Jesus.
Jesus. Yes, this particular tablet that your child has been looking at from morning till night. And WHO sir should tell you that if your child is below 1 year, they have no business with tablet or phone at all. No screen time.
Bombastic side eye.
If your child is between 2 to 4 years, they should not spend more than 1 hour with tablet or phone. Why? Simply because this particular time of their lives is when their brain is still developing a lot of things that you are going to use as an adult. Fine motor skills, how to write, how to use, all these small things, even how to develop language. Cognitive development is when they interact with other people. That's when they can read faces. For some people, they can stay like that for hours. It's also encouraging sedentary behavior. And all these things can affect them as adults.
Oh my God.
Because I know that some of you are using this tablet as cheat code. Yes, especially the Instagram mommies and daddies.
Will you keep quiet?
Any smart, what your child, put tablet in front of them. So please, it's not me that said it, it's WHO that said it. If you have fights, go and fight WHO, not me. Let your child interact with other human beings and not basically just looking like that. You might think they are learning, but they are not. Let them learn with their hands and their bodies. So Instagram daddy and mommy Emeka and Nkechi, at a certain age, this is not good for your child. And I know that you know the mother I'm talking to or the father I'm talking to.
Please.
You know what to do.
Charlie, this is so real and it's true. I grew up in Ghana, right? So when it comes to these tablet, I think I had access to it when I got into high school.
Yeah,
these iPhones and everything. But like what he's saying is so true, because you have to go out, you have to mingle with others, you have to make new friends. But now these kids, they just self-centered because they have their iPads. They think they socialize on their iPad and their mobile phone. And I think human to human is different from phone to phone,
Yeah.
So yeah, these kids are supposed to make new friends, go out and mingle with others as well.
I mean, I'm
It's
all for
really
the
serious.
use. I'm all for the use for technology, but everything is all about balance. Yes, the face-to-face interactions help to actually develop real relationships other than going online and having a friend on there, because with online you don't really get to see the real person or know the real person. But maybe the kid has some anxiety issues, which may restrict him or her from, trying to, play with their friends or something, or they get bullied too much, that they don't want to be near people.
Yeah.
That can also help them
Yeah.
in some way. With the iPad or the tablet, they can, talk to their friends online or family members online. Maybe they have some kind of issue. So it's not all bad. It's just about, managing it, and that's about it. Technology itself is not bad.
Listen, wait, I don't mean to cut you off, right? But listen, I think what you said is so true. When it comes to kids with anxieties and they like getting bullied and all things, but I feel like all these things build you. You're supposed to go through it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to build you. So that is why most people think kids raised in Africa are tough skin, because they go through all this process.
Okay.
You go to school here and like a teacher just just shout at you and you just start to cry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was still crying.
but I say how fun. It's different story,
Yeah.
I
just said about a boy.
But I was gonna say, we're talking about screen time not just in terms of like phones and tablets. We're talking the games as well.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of things that parents forget is like the same dopamine release that you get from like scrolling on TikTok and things like that. Like kids are getting the same thing, and that's what causes the addiction.
No.
They don't get the same dopamine release.
No.
They do.
They do.
So
When you get that kind of enjoyment, when you kill someone online, it's
You're telling me the same chemical that releases in our brain for us to keep scrolling. The children don't have it. That's what causes addiction.
And you know one funny thing, these games, like most of these parents, they don't even know what these games are about. They've never tried or play. Like they don't know what it is. They just give it to them.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go to our first question. So how has technology transformed parenting? I know a lot of us are not parents here. But how do you think it has transformed parenting? And Nana, you can always butt in at any time of the conversation. Do you have anything to say? How has technology transformed parenting?
Well, thank you, first of all, for inviting me. Interesting. I'm a mother of 4, but my kids, thankfully, I mean, they're adults now. I've got 22, 21, 18, and 15. My 15-year-old hasn't got a phone. He hasn't got a phone. He has an iPad that his sisters bought him. But why he hasn't got a phone, I think when he was in he's in year 10 or year 9, he was spending more time on the phone. Thankfully, Daddy and I are home. We are the parents that are home. If I'm not home because I travel a lot, Daddy's home. So we balance.
Yeah.
And we have made it a point that we are involved in everything that our children are doing. For my daughter, the first one, 22, she's an actress, but she's an actress. I was telling Nana, West End on a big Netflix production, but she's not out there doing the phone thing.
Yeah.
It's how parents get involved with their kids' life coming up. Like, I think the guy next to you was saying back home, the way we were raised has helped us also shaping our children. We African parents, but we are European parents. So we blend the two.
Yeah.
And then we are parents and we are God-fearing parents. So we've also blended as well. So it's number one, is different in each and everybody's home.
I agree.
If the parents are involved with the kids' life, if the parents are involved in a time of maybe the time that we have to screen, like in my home, when it's dinner time, nobody touches their phone, from myself to Daddy, because the parents have to set good examples. So everybody, either you put your phone on silent, do not disturb, or it's off, because we have that family time. Yeah. Then they have their time to do that. The third one was, I think at one point, was getting addicted to her phone, because obviously she has her friends. May we not forget that the influence of friends is also a contributing factor to people being the kids being on the phone.
Yep.
Because when you want to study, your friends want to chat. I think I'm on IG and I'm on TikTok and which one is it? And then Facebook. I'm not on all the other apps, which I think is too much of a distraction. But what happens is, I think it's Snapchat that they have a group, they're all chatting and chatting and chatting. So when it's time for her to do her assignment or stuff, because her friends are on there, because you want to be part of the friend group, you know. But then this is what we told her. As you young men are older, as you grow, each and every day you are growing. And this is, if a parent is listening, this is what each and every day you're growing. And whatever you're doing will affect your adult life. Sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
You know, we sit, yes, we have conversation, yes, we laugh, but all of us are growing. And one day you will pay. It's the seeds that we are sowing for our kids, for even your upbringing, for your growing up, for your growth. It's a seed that you are sowing. So you will get to my age, and then you realize that the friends that you were chatting with, the friends that you were doing this, some of them are gone. Some of them, you know, their life have become something else. What about you? So we put little seeds in our kids' life, and I think that is what is helped us as parents. My husband and I, that is what is helped us. This evening, I mean, our told Nana is late, but I will stay up. My son came down. Yes, he plays games, but he has a cutoff time. If it's not off, we will take it from him. So now he's adjusted to it. In the beginning, it was hard, but then now he knows if it's 8, 9, I need to give up. I need to go read my book before I go to bed. He came downstairs and says, "Mommy, I want to go out for fresh air. I want to go out for a ride." And I said, "Okay." I dropped everything that I was doing and I took him for a ride.
Yeah, thank you
But
so much.
this is me.
Yeah.
But some parents might not have that time. So what would they do? They will, like my brother or my young son was saying, "Oh, go do your thing. I'm busy.
Yeah.
So it's when parents are able to involve. I know, especially we that are here in Europe, in the States, or wherever you are, we don't have that time because we have to work. We have to work. And that is what it's making our children, even adults are hooked, not just the kids, even adults. Some adults, we need to take the phone. So maybe you have to add adults getting off the screen.
Yeah, we're definitely have that segment as well. But
okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
When we are in the lives of our children, when we are involved in what they're doing, when we get excited with the books, like my brother was saying, they will put the phone down, but we don't have time. And if you don't have time, then of course the tablet will have time for your son or your daughter.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nana. But yeah, like you were saying, I feel like a lot of the parents, because it's really hard for them to not be addicted to these screens. It's very hard for them to change your parenting style to benefit the children. Like if I'm always on my screen, how am I taking care of my children, and how am I the one trying to set an example, trying to tell them to not be on it when I do most of them myself?
Mimi, most of these parents are also content creators now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a job, no?
Yeah, because it is paying bills for some people.
Yeah.
So you go to social media, you go to TikTok, you go to Instagram, you see a grown man who is almost 50 doing like content creating, So what do you expect this man to tell the youngest or those coming up, because he thinks it's okay, so he's doing it. And he's spending much time. There's nothing wrong with you doing it, but spending much time overusing it.
I definitely was on live yesterday at our on our Wyattsdot live, and there was somebody on there saying his phone is his girlfriend, his phone is his everything. Yeah, and I was trying to ask him, like, okay, so when you get older and you have kids, how would you feel your child comes to you and said, "My phone is my girlfriend," and he just didn't have an answer because it wasn't realistic. So you already know what kind of parenting style that if he doesn't change, he's probably going to adapt to, and that's probably the same one that his kid are going to try and adapt to. So let's talk about some of the pros.
Can I say something in regards to the adults? You see, that is why, yes, all these apps, people, the creators of the apps are making money. But what's happening?
Sure.
It's making society so delusional. Now, parents are doing the content creating. We are busy on the phone. We are busy on the iPad. We are busy on our IG. And what is happening? father and mother are busy. Daddy is on whether Facebook, mommy is on IG,
Yeah.
son is on Instagram, somebody is on. You see, so the family is even not together anymore. You see how it's going.
Yeah.
There's no communication at home. When it comes nowadays, when it comes to, I don't know why I'm even saying the other, we don't even have time to talk to each other anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody's upstairs, you're texting. Somebody's downstairs, you're texting. Somebody is sitting on the same table with you. They cannot even communicate. You see why these things, how it's making society, we become robots.
Yeah.
So we don't talk, we don't engage, we don't communicate anymore. It's all about texting, it's all about send emojis, all about forward something. People forward things to people without even reading the context, whether it applies to. So it's not even, it's a huge thing. And this generation, I always say that I don't know the next 5 years how it's going to be like.
Yeah.
If and I'm so happy that you guys are putting this out there, that people will listen, people will share, people will get to know about it. If you get married and you don't talk to your husband because your husband is a content creator, you're also a content creator. And what happens?
Both the
So it's so important that we address this.
But let's talk about some of the pros of screen time, especially for the kids. You guys don't have any pros?
Depends on what you're using it for.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of them try and use it for education.
During COVID time, it helped a lot because they had to access their homeworks and everything through that,
Yeah.
So during COVID time, everything was virtual. So that one, there was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So it has positive effect and also negative effect.
Of course.
But I think the negative effect comes in a way that we don't even realize that we causing some harm to ourselves, and that is what we like to hammer that part more because, as I said earlier, you think that, it's cool for me to just test Nana because, we are in the same house, but I can just test her and be like, hey, I have food here. Can you just come get some? Or do you want me to bring you some?
Yeah.
Because everybody's inside their rooms, no human interaction, and at that point, it's harmful. At that point, it's harmful because you're not actually being the real human interaction that you're supposed to get.
Were you talking about the pros?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the pros, I mean, to keep up with time and keep up with like current events, I'll say social media is really important with that. Social media can include watching TV. I'll say social media can include, browsing the net.
Yeah.
Watching YouTube news. So yeah, that's a pro to it. Also, it keeps us up to date with how to use technology, how to play around with it. It gives us that kind of knowledge around it as well. And most of the pros are many. I'll say there's so many pros and cons, to be honest.
You think so?
Yes. It's all about balancing. So far as you know how to really, really balance it, it's really good. Because you just need to know how to actually use it at the right time. It's all about time and place too. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say there's more pros than cons with the use of tech or social media.
And it makes sense because the world is not going back again.
Yeah.
It's just gonna grow. So we just have to learn and know how we can manage it and help our kids through it. That's the only thing, because we're not gonna have the old telephone, those kind of devices anymore. So yeah.
Did you have anything to add, Blacko?
No, all I gotta say is that parents need to open communication with their kids. Like when we're going on the net, you need to tell your kid what they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you go on the net, you tell them, advise them, don't open this website. That's what parents need to do right now. Tell your kids, don't open this website. When you don't tell them and they open it, and when they find something interesting, that's when they keep going there and going there. That's when screen time involves definitely. Yeah. When I go to TikTok and I keep scrolling and I keep seeing something that I'm interested in, I'm gonna go there again, and you don't
even have to. They're gonna give it to you again because that's how the algorithm works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So parents need to open communication. Does it?
So Mimi, there is tablet, there is cane, and there is belt.
And can I say something?
Yeah.
And I think as you all said, it's a balance. it's a balance, but yes, for educational purposes, we all learn. You go to YouTube, you're listening to some stuff, but then when it comes to the negative side, I mean, you stay on the screen for a long time, is going to affect your eyes. And as a child, as you spend more time on the screen, it gets to a point you get the headaches, and then the next thing you're wearing glasses. I think I took my son to the optician, and he was saying, you have to be out there, out enjoying the weather, the space, the sunscreen, than just being on the screen. And some of them can be on the screen like the whole day.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, some schools are making the kids put their phones away when they come to school. As soon as you get to school, they collect your phone and lock it. And some of the kids, I think BBC did that, some of the kids were saying it helps them, from stress, because you're going on the phone, you're seeing some stuff, you're seeing kids, and we all see in the news what's been happening with these kids going on some of the apps and being dead. The next thing, they're committing suicide. So it's all about, also as the third guy, the guy in the glasses. Sorry, I didn't catch the name, so forgive me if I'm not pronouncing the names. Mentioning your names. As parents, have to get involved, because you don't know what your children are listening to. I happen to be with young artists in Hollywood, and when I interview them, most of them, their parents are handling their IGs, because you don't know who is sneaking into your son or your daughter's DM and having conversations with them. Mm-hmm. So it's important that as we deal about screen time, you have to find. I asked my son, because the three, they are more matured, but the son, I said, who are you talking to? And who is asking you to do? Don't allow anybody to tell you to dare to do a game that says dare me, or we don't know. But if you are involved, and I keep stressing this, that parents have to get involved. And if you're a big brother, if you're a big sister, and you're younger, that your younger brother or sister has an iPad, and they are all on this app. You said your little cousin 7 hasn't. You have to find out who are they chatting with, who are their friends, because there are people who are 70-year-old and telling these kids that they are 15-year-olds, and luring them and having unnecessary conversations with them. So it's so important that mom and dad get involved. Sometimes the kids don't want to give us their password and all that. Oh, not in the church household. We all know each other's password.
Because parents do too much.
You don't do it in a way that they think that you are
invading.
You are intrusive. Even though I would say, who pays the phone bill? But then we do it in a loving way, an understanding way, that they will not go and hide and create another password, you understand, or hide and do things. Because the last thing you want is somebody taking your son or somebody taking your daughter away. So even if you're a big brother or a big sister, you are also responsible to check on them and or cousin or whoever it is, to check what the little ones are doing.
Yeah, we're going to take a comment from Stephen Asari, and then we're going to play this video.
Hold on. Before that, let me say this. I think it is so true. But one thing that I want to say is every generation comes with different level of smartness, So when it comes to, I can give you my password, I can give you access to my phone, my device, whatever that you want, but I can still do whatever I want to do on it.
Yes, sir.
So I'm saying this because I feel like most of the parents think that when they have that covered, they are secure.
Yeah.
But they are not, because most of these kids, the phones that they use to do whatever they want to do is not what they bring home. They go out
You're
there.
speaking from experience.
That's not even it. Like,
it's not
probably the account they used to like check all that. That's not what they are giving.
That is not what they're giving you. So to be secure enough, I think you have to create a good relationship with,
like, opening communication.
Yes, so they can actually voice out. But when it comes to just the password, having access to their phone and
screen
the devices,
You're wasting your time.
They are gone.
Stephen Asara said, in our world today, screen time is extremely essential because it is the channel for information. He also said, again, screen time provides the movers and shakers the greatest opportunity to alter the collective minds of society, and that it's also a benefit reserved for the select few. Lastly, he said, I think such transparency should start with the parents.
Yeah.
Kids look up to their parents and everything, so they are playing their parents' card and ordering compliance from their wards. It won't work. We're gonna watch this video and then we're gonna see what you guys think. I'm gonna need everybody's thoughts. Thank you.
The day you give your kid a phone that's connected to the internet, has social media on it, that's the day that the phone will begin to move to the center of your child's life, and it will be there forever. So you decide, do you want to delay that until your kid is in high school or college? I think you should. Or do you want to get your kid started on withdrawing from the world when she's 8 or 9? Because when you give her the phone, nothing is going to be as interesting as the phone. The phone is not just a single thing. It is a portal to the entire world to get to your child. So at what age do you want that to start? Once you get into that, it's going to be an eternal struggle. And so you decide, at what age do you want to start that battle? The day you give your kid a phone that's connected to the internet, has social media on it, that's the day that the phone will begin to move to the center of your child's life, and it will be there forever. So you decide, do you want to delay that until your kid is in high school or college? I think you should. Or do you want to get your kid started on withdrawing from the world when she's 8 or 9? Because when you give her the phone, nothing is going to be as interesting as the phone. The phone is not just a single thing. It is a portal to the entire world to get to your child. So at what age do you want that to start? Once you get into that, it's going to be an eternal struggle. And so you decide, at what age do you want to start that battle? The day you give your...
He's making a lot of sense. He is, because the phone is like a phone with an internet is like a whole world. And you give into a child of 7, 8, 9, like it is a huge thing for them to like carry, you know. Just think about this. Back in the days, I was not born, but I know, you know, back in the days when people used to travel outside Africa and come to the US, they communicate through radio, fax, and those kind of type thing. But now, if you are able to just pick up a phone and just call somebody in Ghana, somebody 5,000 miles away, have a conversation with a person as much as you want, and has no reconnecting, then yes, I agree that a whole phone with an internet is the world. So we have to be careful who we give a phone to.
I had what he's saying, but wait until they're I think he said in college to do that, because obviously that probably would not work. Because when they get to high school and they start working, it's not going to be effective. Also, I think there's a sort of disconnect they're probably going to have with their peers that's going to force them to do the opposite of basically what you're saying. Because if everybody has an iPhone, not even an iPhone, let's think about anything else before the iPhone. If you went to school and everybody had it and you didn't have it, it was like, it was a different feeling of being left out, you know. And like you said, people get bullied because like if you didn't have the latest shoes, it was probably gonna be the same effect. So I agree, but I think like waiting until college is just a bit excessive because of the other problems that it might bring. But I guess you're really choosing what problems you want. Do you want long-term problems now, or do you want to be bullied
I agree
now?
with what he said, like till college. So my point of view is that let the kid come to you and ask you for a phone before you hand it out to the kid. Because some parents...
So what if the 5-year-old comes and said, give me a phone?
Come on. 5 years old don't come to you and be like, give me a phone.
You'd be surprised.
Because parents just hand the phone to the kids like, okay, I know you are 9 years, just take this phone. I'm gonna call you. No, don't do that. Let the kid come to you and be like, oh, daddy, mommy, I need a phone.
Yeah.
Because at that time, they know what to use the phone for. Actually, that's why they're asking for it. But when you...
I don't agree with that.
No, but when you hand the phone to them, it's like you're giving them the phone, but they don't have no idea, and they just do whatever they want to do with the phone.
7 years guy will come to you. Can I get your phone? Get your phone.
You got games on your phone?
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that let the kid come to you and ask for the phone.
He's not saying ask for the games.
Yeah,
like,
I understand.
Say, mommy, can I have a phone so I can be calling you?
Yeah, I understand. Yes. But the fact that the kid is able to voice out that I need a phone doesn't mean he or she needs a phone.
Mm-hmm.
They need it. That's what he asking.
I think no. I think the way I see it, you're supposed to know who your son or your daughter is, because there are some people based on the foundation that you give them at the age of 7, they can manage the mobile phone well.
Okay,
but they are, that same case of that same age, you give them a mobile phone, it's gonna be chaos. You know, so you have to create parents. I would say parents needs a good and great foundation to let kids believe in themselves to the point where if they don't have mobile phone in high schools, they're not gonna feel left out. You know, let them know who they are. You know, mom said I will get a phone after high school. Oh yeah, mom, like she knows why she said that. So I don't care about what you tell me.
Hannah Osei said, "Let them go read a book and play outside."
Simple.
Can I ask all of you? Because you're young.
Yeah.
When at what age or at what time did you get your phones?
Honestly, I don't remember the age, but I'm gonna say 10. It wasn't like
at 10. You were 10.
I would say like that's when I got here. I was like 10 or 11. I got them little, the slide over phones with a keyboard, but obviously it was for communication. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I was like 10. I don't know. That's young. Oh Lord, I'm a victim.
No, me. Yeah, I was sneaking.
Oh,
so you did not have a phone?
No, but I was sneaking at the age of I think somewhere class 5. You know.
Damn.
Because I had
class 5, so you were in Ghana.
Yes, that's crazy.
I have big sisters. I'm the last born.
Okay.
So Omuko High School boarding house, I'll just take the
because they don't take you to school. You just grab it.
Yeah,
and that time my dad was in abroad, so I had my first phone in JHS. So yeah.
Okay, Kwaku Asante, I think that's how you say your name. Said the very world we rely on today are smartphones, AI, cloud exists because brilliant minds spend countless hours behind screens. The real issue isn't screen time, it's what we do with it. Yeah. Hannah said middle school is a good time. They're doing sports and stuff, so to communicate with the parents on picking them up, etc. Stephen Asara said, I think the biggest factor in determining the effects of screen time on the kids is how they are taught to relate to it. To me, it isn't an issue of when, but how. And he also said, because a college student may be matured enough, but that doesn't mean their naivety and inexperience with technology wouldn't lead them astray. That is true.
Okay, I think Nana was saying something.
Yeah, what were you saying, Nana?
No, I was asking all of you at what.
Yeah, did you guys answer?
For me, I'll say 14. That was when I had my first phone. Yeah, because I would say outside boy, like
that's what I'm about to say too. Yeah,
I don't really care about the phone. I just go out, just go trap with the boys.
Trap. Blanco, what about you?
The same thing. I was not a phone person. I was
just,
yeah. Mine is like going to the game center and just doing
literally game center. Probably climbing walls and all. Don't be safe phone.
Yeah. So you can see that it differs. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, how you're using the phone. At the end of the day, how you can. Yes, we need the phone to connect, but as to when you have to cut off to have that family time. As to when to cut off to do your homework, as to when to cut off to read your book, because some of the kids are not reading their books anymore because they are on it's a TikTok scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So by the time I even have to, I raised my hands. I had to catch myself the other day. I think I was on Instagram trying to do a post and I stood at one place and scrolling. And by the time I caught myself, it was like 30 minutes. I thought, oh, Jesus, you understand? And so it happens to all of us. But when you are able to discipline yourself, so we are the place where we have to teach the kids who are so hooked onto it, because some children are really addicted.
Yeah.
How to, like the video you played, how we can gently, wean the kids from the phone and try to set up a time and talk to them and love them. And because some of them will say, you take the phone from me, I'm having mental issues. I don't know whether you guys have seen that woman that was taking the phone from the child and the kid was like demon possessed.
Hey,
phone was taken
Yeah.
from her.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Max Webler said, "At what age did Bill Gates start using the phone?
Oh, bro.
Media just make money with it, so that's it. No,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We've
Just make
talked
money with it.
talked about
bro,
the-
bro. No, stop. Don't start that conversation right now.
Make money
We've
with
talked
it.
about the pros of obviously screen time. So let's talk about a little bit of the cons. I found the stat when I was going through my my daily week TED Talks. So let's take a look at that.
Are we watching a video?
It's gonna be a picture.
Oh, okay.
So this is an average 18-year-old life expectancy. Let's say he's aging to 90. On average, a human spent about 228 months sleeping. So I don't know if you guys know that, but you spend a lot of your time sleeping. And then for work and school, it's about 128 months. For cooking, about hard to see that, I think 38 months. And then obviously when you're using 36, and then bathroom hygiene is 27 months. So you have 334 months of free time if you live up to 90. And the next picture shows, which he's about to put on, just a second, the amount of time that screen time is now affecting us. So now out of the 334 months of free time that we have, we're using 312 months to
crazy.
just be on the screen.
Mimi, after 70, I've retired. What
But after 70, you're telling me you're using 312 months to just be on your phone scrolling.
After 70 is
Like, you're not even going to want to
You're
look
not
at
really-
screens.
yeah.
You probably wouldn't even have the capacity to
Yeah.
be looking at screens. But the long-term effects that screen
They
time is
can't
going to have on
yeah,
you.
or 70.
So think about, and this is of us now. So think about the kids that are now coming up. That number is probably going to go up higher and
Yeah.
higher and
no,
higher.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Depending on, now we have virtual reality and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can just be in a VR for like hours and think that's your life.
Yeah.
You can do anything on it.
So let's talk about some of the cons. I think we touched base on a lot of them of screen time. One being, I mean, the people that play video games, I know they have back pain because they're just like this.
So health issues.
Health issues, weight gain, weight
Distractions.
loss. What was it?
Distractions.
Destruction.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I think
Like screen time. Like when you're on your phone too much, you be distracted. Like
Oh,
let's say-
distracted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
mental.
Somebody
you
said
can, you
they're
can
going
see
mad
somebody on
because
their
they're
phone. You
their
can see
phone.
somebody on the phone. They're driving and they're still watching TikTok, like scrolling and scrolling. Like they see a green light and they still like.
So your focus level is gonna the focus
I
level
just
is gonna
said
be
high five.
diminished because of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Gonna be distracted a lot.
I'll
Over
say
here,
also
You
over
play
here in the
GTA.
UK
Oh, you
over
play.
here in the UK, you see people on the train, and everybody's head is bowed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody's hair is bowed, just on the phone, scrolling, texting, talking. You like, is that how human beings? Is that the way we are going? Yes, it's good for us to have the phone. If not, I won't be here. I mean, look at where I am. Look at where you are. We are on screen time, which is productive. But most of the time, most people, yes, some people are making money with their phones, with their screens, because they're doing the games or whatever that they have to do with the screen. But then it's making us lose that humanity, making us lose that touch, that human touch. For me, that is my heart cry, that human touch of why can't we, or why can't the kids, we teach the kids, as you've shared with us with
Yeah.
the figures that you should, can't put the phone down for even an hour. Some people can't put the phone. So we said we were going to do a phone diet.
Phone
This year
diet.
in my home. We haven't where we will. Everybody will. Yes, we have to work on all that, but from certain time to certain time, we switch off our phones and we see who would just run to get their phone.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you guys can try it.
I think
you know.
we're gonna get there when we talk about setting boundaries. Don't worry,
Mimi,
Nana.
Wait, hold on. I'm not yet done. Listen,
Be finishing.
2023
Yeah.
December, someone hit me so hard
Hey,
in the intersection.
you don't have a story like that. I don't. Go ahead.
Really?
Yes, go ahead.
And this guy walked to me. The first thing he said, "I'm so sorry, I was on my phone. I didn't see the red light." I was like, "Okay, cool, thank you." So phone is very good. Technology is very good, but sometimes we have to know when and how we're using it. I see people at a zebra crossing with their phone.
Yes.
So we have to actually make sure when, how And
Where?
where
let's
exactly we use
not
mobile
pivot the
phone?
conversation to
Yeah.
just phones. We're talking about
Yeah,
screen
yeah.
time in the families. Stephen Asara said, I got mine after high school, but that certainly wasn't my first experience with it, and that reality exists for most kids today. He also said, I already knew what to do with way before I owned one, and parents had no idea.
That's what I'm talking about.
He said, yes, modern living exists on a screen. We work with screens, work out with screens, eat with screens. Max Webler says, some old man be there. My job, he's always on TikTok and playing video games. Old people are always on the phone. And Steven said, old people love new stuff. Max Webler also said, single people too are always on social media.
Oh, please.
Depression.
Leave single people alone.
And Steven Asari said, that's where we meet other single people too, Mr. Webler.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm talking about how people make money through screen time.
Yeah.
Money making is a good thing, but I have this question: is it legal or illegal? Because
You have to Google that. It's given as legal because everyone is close.
I don't mean the whole thing.
repercussion.
I'm just talking about the way you making your money. Is it legal? Because I have some people that are doing scamming using the screen time and then spending much time on their screen, but they are scamming other people. Fraud, making money out of it.
Well, that's gonna be our conversation for another day.
Oh, okay.
Because that is never drifting.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of we've talked about the pros and the cons of screen time and the family dynamics and how it's breaking up these families. So what are some tips for creating healthy screen time limits without feeling overly controlling? I know Nana, you touched point and said you want to have social media diet days, diet weeks, and I think that's a great idea. And I know most people do the no phones during dinner time. But what are some tips for creating healthy screen time limits?
Phone ye, abanye, belt ye.
Pick one.
You don't pick one. You use this. If you use this past your time, then you have to select between these two.
Oh wow.
For the kids, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you use mobile phone, your tablet, whatever you're using, past your limit, then you have to choose between these two.
Does it apply to the parents too?
Like, does it
for the
apply to you?
adults? Yeah, no.
That's a good question. Does it apply to
because
you?
I got to learn from you.
You know what I'm saying?
You're bringing it up.
Mimic everything they see.
Yeah.
So if you're
what you're saying, I'm gonna go with like, build a family plan. Like, let's say when we sit down, like maybe as Nana said, when we about to have dinner, we set the phone aside. We don't go near it.
Yeah, basically that.
Blacko, I love that. As a parent, you have to set a good example for your kids. But listen, the fact that I'm working in a warehouse doesn't mean you, my kids, should work in a warehouse.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But you have to set a good example for your kids. You can't be lying and expect your kids not to lie.
So the American is best example. I'm not saying I'm working in a warehouse because things change for me.
So you're lying because you have to lie.
I'm not lying. But the fact that you see me working in warehouse doesn't mean you, my kid, I'm gonna let you work in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Whilst I can see there's a lot of potentials, because I grew up in Ghana having maybe limited opportunities. Now you are in US, you are in UK, wherever you are. I can see you can be a doctor. So why do you have to make you stop thinking and limiting yourself to the point where you have to do what know what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're saying, but I think it's also a very skewed mindset to have because you want your kids to look up to you.
Yeah.
You want to be a good example in the household for your kids. So you have to lead by example.
Yes.
You're a Christian, you like God is the example, so you follow him. That's how it has to be for your children. You have to
So if you're caning your kids, you gotta cane yourself too. They gotta cane you.
No.
It's
all about balance. Literally, it's all ends up in balance.
Balance it out.
No, literally, it's all about balance.
Drink one every time he says balance.
Phones are good. Social media is good. It's just all about balance. How you use it and how you can, control yourself with it. It's literally all about balance. The moment you find that balance between that, you will be fine. It wouldn't be addictive. If you know there's a time to spend with family, go ahead and spend with family. Put the phone down. You can reply to emails. Sure, you can. It's just all about time and it's all about scheduling it yourself. So
I think
I'll add this.
I'll
add this and I'll leave you guys.
Okay.
It's all about balance. It's all about the family love as well.
Yeah.
If you're spending, if mom, dad, or mom and brothers, sisters, it depends on every family. If that kid knows that mom is spending time with me, dad is spending time with me, sisters and brothers are spending time with me. And when we didn't have phones, those of you who grew up in Ghana, once upon a time, most of us didn't have phones, and we have turned out to be great.
Yes.
We didn't have the internet and all that, but we still turned out to be great. And it's the values which are instilled in us that has made us who we are today. And it's that values that we want to instill in our children. We want to help our sisters and our brothers. If you let a child understand maybe why, like my brother just said, the balance, why you have to not use your phone after a certain time, why you don't have to do this at a certain time, then when they understand it, when you teach somebody to understand something, you won't even force them. I know that we will say, oh, the kids here, but I have 4, and thank God my 4 are responsible kids. So it can happen. But if you are involved as a parent, if you're involved as a teacher, if you're involved as whatever you do in whoever the child is in their life, they will grow up to be that responsible person. We see, because one thing I'm trying to do nowadays is, pick some kids from Ghana, because I'm from Ghana, and take some kids from the US and from here and see the comparison. Some children in Ghana don't have phones, but they are as brilliant and sharp as you can be. They don't have access to but they are as brilliant. You guys can testify that they are as brilliant. And there's some kids over here who have everything, who have access to everything. And so I'm born to the core. Their head is coconut head. You understand? So it's how we see this screen time that we, if you abuse it, you will pay the consequences. And some people are paying the consequences. Some people are having the mental breakdown because they are on the phone constantly, and they see all these things. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be this. And you can't be. And what happens? You have that mental breakdown. And that is what we see in our world today. So each and every one of you, with the platform that you have, yes, you can be ambassadors of screen time and tell your friends and tell your loved ones and tell the parents. Sometimes we can tell our moms and dads in a nice way, in a respectful way, that, hey, mom, you said I shouldn't do this. So, you are my role model. Or, hi, dad, you are my role model. Is the way we say it. It might seem like a cliche, but we can do it and help those coming, the next generation, to be those role models that others want to see, to be the people in the society, in the community, that people will say, oh, wow, look at these people. They're using their phone to crusade for something great in society. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was lovely having you on.
Bedtime.
Bye. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Stephen Asare said, teach your kids about the true purposes of technologies. Parents should apply those lessons first and make those lessons practical.
Yes.
Max said, I feel like everyone's getting the belt though. I feel like at least 1 week everybody's getting the belt.
Yeah.
Stephen Asare said, what has teaching your kids how to use technology in common with you working in the warehouse? I'm confused.
Bro.
Maxwell said the kid might be the next Kai Cenat or the next Mail to Ernest. It's all about what they do with it.
Mr. Beast.
Mail to Ernest.
Stephen Asare said, understanding the ultimate role of technology in one's life is the key, and relating that to the bigger picture of life is the greatest essence. So let's talk. Do you think kids should help decide these boundaries that you're setting?
Nah, because you can't let them. You can't.
Let me give an example. So a 12-year-old refuses to stop playing a video game, right? Yeah. And he's saying no because it's his personal space. The parent feels disrespected, but the child just argues that he deserves his independence.
At the age of 12?
At the age of 12.
In my house?
Yeah, you just got to show some.
I feel like because of our background, this is going to be very biased. But of course, this is not how it works in all cultures. There's cultures that respect.
I mean,
no.
Communication, sure. But regardless, you, the father, the mother, you still have the power. So if the kid was raised up right, he or she should be okay listening to you. That's what I'll say.
And don't let the people get it wrong. People from our background, we still, you know,
Disrespect.
no, we still think about your mental health and all that. We still respect your rights and all that. But in my house at the age of 12,
Okay.
can you live by yourself? Can you feed yourself?
Okay.
Like, you can't even clean
You're just
your...
repeating what your father told
Listen, you can't even clean your back well when you poop.
Okay.
Okay.
He probably can. At 12 years
A
old.
little bit, you know.
At 12 years
so
old.
what? Now you are making your own rules in my own house.
But you stopping the person from using screen time at the age of 12 can go out and still use screen time. You know
It's
that,
not
right?
stopping. It's not stopping. It's about having boundaries. And
That's
the
what I'm saying.
question
Are
was-
you going to let the child have a say
think
in
that's
the
what-
Oh
back?
Yeah,
yes, because it has to
Yeah.
deal with communication. You be like,
Yeah.
hey, so and so time, this and this and this.
Yeah.
You just gotta break it down for the kid.
Yeah.
We're going to watch a video real quick and get some of your opinions.
Now,
Look,
what are you trying to convince me?
I'm not trying to convince you to do anything, Daddy.
Okay.
You're just being rude
How?
by not letting anybody have your electronics. Wanna know why?
Huh?
Wanna know why God gave you electronics?
Why?
Because He thought you were gonna share it,
What?
but you're not sharing.
I
You're
don't-
not being fair.
I don't have to share my iPad and my
Yes, you
iPhone.
do. You have to.
Why?
Because that's what God says. You know what some people do?
What?
When you don't share, guess what happens?
What happens?
You go to the devil when you die.
Man, come on, man.
That can happen.
Okay,
You
I
want that to happen?
no, I don't. But I'm not giving you an iPad or an
I'm
iPhone.
not trying to convince you to do anything, Daddy.
Okay,
I'm just telling you it's true.
okay.
You're gonna go to the devil
Okay.
if you don't listen to me.
What? Man, come on. Okay. Now,
Look,
what are you trying to convince me?
I'm not trying to convince you to do anything, Daddy.
Okay.
You're just being rude
How?
by not letting anybody have your electronics. Wanna know why?
Huh?
Wanna know why God gave you electronics?
Why?
Because He thought you were gonna share it,
What?
but you're not sharing.
I
You're
don't-
not being fair.
I don't have to share my iPad and my
Yes, you
iPhone.
do. You have to.
Why?
Because that's what God says. You know what some people do?
What?
When you don't share, guess what happens?
What happens?
You go to the devil when you die.
Man, come on, man.
That can happen.
Okay,
You want that to happen?
no, I don't. But I'm not giving you an iPad or an
I'm
iPhone.
not trying to convince you to do anything, Daddy.
Okay,
I'm just telling you it's true.
okay.
You're gonna go to the devil
Okay.
if you don't listen to me.
What? Man, come on.
Now
Okay.
the pastor is talking.
I mean, he should be a lawyer. He makes a solid point.
Yeah, he's very smart. But listen, I think from what he said, right, he's talking about giving
Mm-hmm.
and sharing.
Sharing, yeah.
He's not. I think that's what I could.
So he's trying to infuse that into
manipulate a
trying
little
to
bit.
get his dad to understand that. So
Since
he
you
can
don't
use
want to
the
share,
phone.
don't want to give.
Trying to convince his dad with that. Yeah,
because that you said we should give, we should share, but you're not. So
that's a smart way to actually
yes,
convince
that
your
kid is
dad.
actually smart though.
Max Webler said, bro, I would throw those stuff out. And he said, I play games, so we'll play together sometimes
Yeah,
and know when it's time for other stuff like homework or dinner time. Steven said, sorry. Yeah, stuff like homework or dinner time. And Steven said, I'm telling you, it's true.
What is true?
what is?
Maybe the comment Max said.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot. I think we put in a lot of practical solutions as we were going through, but we can reiterate some of the advice and actionable item like tips of how we can balance screen time and respect boundaries for our future, for your future children.
Every house supposed to have rules and regulations. You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And every house supposed to have an internet. Every house is supposed to have mobile phones. Every house supposed to have electronics in general. So, as a parent, learn how to use these and make sure you introduce your kids to it the right way.
The right way.
Yeah,
Emphasis
the right
on
way
that.
with limitations. You know, don't just give them anything because I've seen some 7 years. They have like a whole file, 400 videos of pornography on their tablet.
Balthasar.
Yes, on their tablet, a whole file. And now they don't even have to download it. They have to go to Snapchat. They have to go to Twitter. You know what I'm
Telegram.
talking about, right?
Telegram.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Telegram.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about, Blacko.
So please, you have to actually make sure what you are introducing your kids to and introduce them to the right thing and the right source.
Yeah.
We also want to hear from you in the comments as well. Please let us know or share any helpful tips you think we should be taking to set boundaries for screen time. Go ahead, Quidjo.
Yeah, basically,
Balance.
or what I've said. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that's the only real kind of answer in order to really, benefit both the parents and the children. It's all about balance. Trust me, because if you really know when to use it, it's gonna go a long way in helping you release that kind of or lower that kind of dopamine level which you have attached to your cellular device or your tablet. So
yeah, balance
screen time.
Did
Blacko.
you have anything, Blacko?
Oh no.
Balance.
Stephen Asar said a whole file of videos. How does that work? Be explaining how that works.
Blacko, help them out.
Why you coming to me?
You figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Any closing remarks? Do we have any more?
So
so the video that we just showed, what would you? Oh, there's another. We're about to show another video.
Yeah.
No birds is beating me.
Shh. Yeah. You have to get you don't.
Zen. Remember the other night when you told me to shh? What happened? Yeah, don't tell me shh again. I'm gonna let you slide this time because obviously you forgot.
Yeah.
Zen. Don't tell Daddy shush, okay? Okay?
Yeah.
I'll turn this camera off and I'll teach you again. Because clearly you didn't learn your lesson before.
Okay.
No birds is beating me.
Shh. Yeah.
That is not Quidjo, and that is me.
But what?
What would you do if you were in that position?
Yeah. Correct him. That's
Yes,
like what he's doing.
Quite simple, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off the camera and correct him, yeah. I think that's what he said.
Correct him. How? I don't think he's talking about the same correcting as he's talking about.
Correct him. There are so many ways to correct him. Correct him.
Yeah.
So what's the correct way of telling a child to?
I mean,
themselves?
talking to the kid, yeah. Basically, communication.
People learn through pain and repetition. So
Hey.
yeah,
That's his way.
I'm not saying.
That's his way.
So correct him.
Okay. Any closing thoughts before we wrap up today? Any last words? Anything you want to tell the audience?
One word. Balance.
So
one word.
I feel like we need to go back to this video and just get Nana just saying balance. And make a comment.
One word.
But
One
he's right
word.
though. Balance is the root of everything. You know,
One word.
if everything is balanced, everything is gonna be.
One word.
So
I think screen time is good.
Mhm.
Just know how to use it.
balance.
Balance.
That's what I said from the beginning. All answering that.
Mhm.
But balance.
Sophie.
Balance.
Yeah. Kawasem.
Makasa vibre balance now.
Stephen Asari said, well, for me, one thing would be for sure that boy will go to bed crying.
Wow, bro.
But that's not the way.
Wow,
That's
bro.
not the way.
So if you're a parent tonight, we want to encourage you to have an open conversation with your children about screen time and try and create, like Nana said, balance. It was lovely having everyone here today, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.
Love y'all.
Rise, moving with that wind like a kite. Brother, my mind is fortified. In my room all alone, I like to stay in my zone. And that's how I build my bones. Shall let that be my own? Life written like a poem. My wish I be moving on. No physical, my heart is home. My heart is so. Express your thoughts. I go express my own. If you express your own, I go express my thoughts. Express your thoughts. I go express my own. Make you express your own. I go express my thoughts. I go express my thoughts. Make you express your thoughts. I go express my thoughts. Yeah. I go express.